Hello, how's it going? It's Matt and you're listening to the Looking Sideways Action Sports podcast. It's my podcast where I speak to the great and good of the action sports world. And if it's your first time listening, then yeah, previous guests include Travis Rice, Brian Iguchi, Mick Fanning. There's a lot more because I'm on episode 42. So after you listen to this one, maybe go and check out the back catalogue. Anyway, so yeah, this week I've got Norwegian snowboarder Sandbech in the house, which was unscheduled but turned out absolutely great. And it was also one of the very few times that I've broken my rule of not interviewing anybody without a certain amount of, shall we say, life experience. But I'm really glad I did in this case, which is also part 2 of my special Swiss omnibus recorded during my trip to Laax for the British Ski and Snowboard Champs back in April. So yes, Ståle Sandbech, one of the best loved, most respected and best snowboarders in the world right now, and probably one of the most mispronounced, as I'm sure I've just demonstrated. Now, I've known him a long time, actually, and I was very happy to have confirmed that he's a thoroughly nice lad, which I always knew he was, but, not seen him for a while. And, he's a ledge. And if you're British and you watched the Olympic snowboarding on BBC, you probably saw the commentary of friends of the podcast, Ed Lee and Tim Warwood. Now, Tim in particular was coming out with zinger after zinger during that event. And perhaps my favourite line came at the end of one of Ståle's slopestyle runs when he said, "Don't look into his eyes, girls, you'll get lost." Anyway, that's Ståle. So who is he? Well, if you were to sit down to try and devise a way of creating the perfect snowboarder, you'd do a lot worse than to use this lad's upbringing as a template. Take one stoked kid living near an easily accessible local hill, mixed with 3 equally hyped friends who live and breathe snowboarding. Add one older photographer brother who shoots with the best snowboarders in the world, offering easy access to an incredible array of role models. Marinate in the world's most influential snowboarding culture, sorry America, one that's always valued individual style and heritage. The result? One of the world's great snowboarding stylists, who is today also one of the most popular riders on the planet. Now, I remember when I first heard of Ståle, which was a hefty name drop time, when Transworld Snowboarding asked me to write his first checkout. God knows when that was. We couldn't actually remember when we were talking, but I think he was about 14. And I was a bit like, who is this kid? I mean, he could ride it all. And he also appeared to just land on the scene perfectly formed. And as I discovered back then, for a 14-year-old, he also had a pretty amazingly stable head on his shoulders. And yeah, since then he's evolved into one of the defining riders of his generation, really. As comfortable as he is on the Olympic podium, as he is lapping the park in Laax with his RK1 mates, which is exactly where I bumped into him in April. And, he was a bit like, "Oh, yeah, Matt, how you doing?" And I said, "All right, got the podcast, do you want to meet tonight?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." Now, that speaks volumes about Ståle, actually, the fact that he just was up for that for 2 reasons. Now, firstly, as I've mentioned on this podcast, booking the guests is a really time-consuming part of the whole thing. Now, firstly, people are busy. I get that. I'm busy myself. So try to sort schedules can be a mare, so sometimes they just don't happen. Then there are people who just don't fancy it for whatever. That's cool. Totally get that. And then there are people who are just slackers, to be honest. And I'm sure we all know plenty of those. And then there's someone like Ståle, who I randomly bump into in the fun park in Laax, chew the fat for 30 seconds, who agrees to meet me that night, sit down, do the show, bang, there you go, no fuss, no drama, total pleasure to hang out with. Lane Beachley was like that as well, to be honest. Can you guess which one I prefer dealing with? Correct. So yeah, wicked hour catching up with Ståle, who you really wouldn't guess is one of the most famous riders on the planet right now. Now, I'm not above plagiarising myself for this show, actually. And many years ago, I wrote a line for White Lines that went along the lines of, everybody knows that the most fun it's possible to have as a snowboarder is when you're racing around the mountain, try to slash your friends with snow. Bottle that feeling and you might just be onto something. Well, Ståle has certainly come close to bottling that feeling with his YouTube video, Ståle Life, in which, along with filmer Gimbal God, he documents his life and times and those of his RK1 mates. In finest time-honoured Looking Sideways tradition, I will, of course, post some links to some of those films in the show notes and have a look because, yeah, it's exactly what you want to see the best snowboarders in the world doing. In the meantime, enjoy this one with one of the smoothest operators in the scene, both on and off the hill. As you're going to discover, This lad cuts the same impressive figure off the hill as he does on it. And yeah, it was a real pleasure to sit down, take an hour of his time, and find out what he's been up to. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoys it. I sure did. Here it is, my chat with stylist Sandbech on the substance of style. Enjoy. First thing though.
The first subscription.
Sick, man.
In the podcast.
So you've just
world.
subscribed.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Who are you going to listen to first?
I don't know.
Do you listen to podcasts?
I will begin today.
Yeah. This is going to be your first. So you're going to get interviewed for a podcast, then you're going to start listening to them.
I've been thinking about it. I just haven't I haven't checked out the app yet, and now I did.
Yeah.
So now it's on.
It's a good reason. It's a good reason.
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks for doing it, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Kind of random bumped into each other in the park.
Yeah.
In the park in Laax.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of I saw you and I thought, yeah, man, I'm gonna see if he's up for it. So yeah, good to get you on. How's
Perfect.
it been? Good season?
It's been good, man. It's been a busy season for sure with Olympics and contests and just back-to-back travel all winter.
Yeah.
I've been home I've been home 3 times. One time was 5 days, and then the other time was 2 hours, and then 1.5 day.
So this is from what, like November?
From Christmas actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So just full on hectic.
Yeah.
How'd you find that?
I like it. I'm used to it. That's kind of like how I've been living the last 10 years. So
Yeah.
if I'm home for too long, I kind of get stressed out.
Really?
Yeah.
So how often are you on the road every year, do you think, though? What's the can you total it up?
Well, it depends a bit. Like, I've been injured a bit the last few years, and that for sure makes me stay home more.
Yeah.
But if it's a full-on season and I'm healthy, probably from 250, 300, maybe even more. You know?
Yeah.
300 days a year, maybe.
Crazy schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you cope with that?
It's fine. I like it. I mean, stay busy. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You get to do a lot of cool stuff, travel a lot of cool places, meet a lot of cool people. So just live, you know?
Yeah. And like you say, you've been doing it since you were, what, like 15? 14?
Yeah.
Because I first interviewed you, when you were 14. I think maybe I did we were just saying, I think I did your Transworld checkout maybe.
Yeah, around there.
And then we did the onboard interview probably a few years later.
I was 15.
Yeah.
So maybe the Transworld interview was earlier.
Yeah, but you've been living that life since then, basically.
Yeah, just more and more, you know. It's just been adding on.
Yeah. So what's been a highlight this year? What?
I mean, for sure, like a lot of the contests, but I think that like the most unique thing for me this season is that I hired Spencer, Gimbal God, to travel around with me.
I saw you guys cruising today.
Yeah. And then we make like YouTube videos. I don't like to call it vlogs, but I guess it is a vlog.
Yeah.
We try to do them our way and just like showcase what we do and all that, you know, and it's pretty fun.
So why did you decide to do that? You just wanted to have something that you were like in control of maybe a little bit more?
Well, basically I met Spencer at an Oakley shoot last year, and then I asked him, because I wanted to do like a follow cam thing. I asked him if he wanted to come to Laax 2 weeks later,
right,
for this trip.
Yeah.
And then he came along, and then he killed it and made that RK1 edit here last year, and then from there it just like we just started, you know.
Yeah.
So, and basically I wanted him to do this other project for me that we haven't finished yet, but then he wanted to like do more stuff, and then we ended up doing the series and adding on, you know. Yeah.
So what's the other project?
It's
is it a little hush hush?
Yeah, I mean we started off, and then it's kind of like, I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but hopefully one day we'll finish it.
Yeah. So it's one of those where you're just gonna keep working at it.
Yeah, it's been hard when it's been so much focus on the contests.
Yeah.
Since last year, you know, every trip is like kind of not practicing, but kind of have to do those hard tricks all the time.
Yeah.
But now when Olympics is over and this contest season is over, maybe change the focus a little bit.
Yeah, concentrate on maybe the things that you find a little bit more fun, maybe in your snowboarding.
And just try to do more unique other stuff,
Yeah, because some of those shots have done pretty well, right? That you guys have done, like the back three with the tail slide thing. That was everywhere, wasn't it?
We've been doing well. We've been like getting close to each other in the air,
Yeah.
As dangerous as it gets, the more hype people are.
Yeah.
So
it seems to be the case.
We've been doing some cool stuff, and it seems like people have been liking it, and it's been. I guess we've been getting some viral clips.
Yeah. There's been a few. I'll put a few links in because definitely. Well, I think most people have probably seen them as well, but yeah. So how was Korea?
Korea was fun, man. It was my third Olympics.
Yeah.
So I've been to Olympics before, so it wasn't like the wow Olympics feeling because I've done it before, but it was fun, man. The course was fun, the slopestyle course, like the beginning.
Yeah, they got
of the
that
trip.
right, didn't they? Yeah.
And fortunately, we had some wind in the finals, but we pushed through and managed to do it. But it was cool, and we were there for a long time. This time it maybe a little bit too long, like over 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was speaking to Jamie today, Jamie Nichols. He was saying he found it like just too long, like because it was like slope at the start, wasn't it? Big air at the end, and then you basically like it's like 3.5 weeks, like
it's
in
like
one place.
10 days we could have been riding powder,
Yeah, well, you're close to Japan, like
I know, but they didn't want us to leave and stuff, and I was like, I'll just chill here. It's free food, and then we managed to go watch some other sports, which was fun,
Yeah, what did you see?
I watched ice hockey, obviously, ski jumping for the first time ever, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We showed up with a bus and we were like in the middle of the hill, and then how are we getting down? Then we just started walking down the landing, so we had like prime viewing.
Oh, okay.
And then we watched cross country skiing.
Yeah.
Which is like Norway's sport.
I was going to say Norway. You got the guy, haven't you? Like super famous athlete, like skier. I can't remember his name. But
that's like the national sport. It's like basically only Norway who does it. So it's a success story every time because we win or podium or even sweep the podium.
So you went and supported.
Yeah, I went to check it out. I saw a few of those. I guess that was it. What flew by actually?
What's the vibe like then when you're trying to keep sane for like 3.5 weeks in like one place? Do you have ways that you try and cope with that? Like, is it or is it just a question of like, I can just put up with this?
I mean, you're with like a bunch of the boys, so we're still having fun. There were some playrooms with pool and ping pong. No, it wasn't ping pong, but like air hockey and all that stuff. We did some of that. There was a little park not too far away, so we were like riding a little bit. And, kind of a lot of chilling, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of chilling.
You can cope with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to rest a little bit because I hurt my back at X Games, so it was kind of, I needed to chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, it's a good bit of downtime.
Yeah.
And how are the events?
The events were good. I mean, I was hoping to get a podium. I got close.
Yeah.
I got the 4th in slopestyle, and then big air was, I didn't make finals. But
I thought I found that judging kind of strange that you didn't, because you did the flat front 14, right? Is that what you did in the qualifying?
Yeah, like a semi-double dip, but not double cork from 14.
And it kind of felt a bit harsh, I thought.
I mean, to be honest, that's like one of the times I've gotten most mad about the judging.
Right.
Because I feel like we should not just get stuck on the backside 14 triple.
Yeah, well, it seemed that that's why I thought it was strange, because it was just more creative. And like it seemed like you did that on purpose to try and
Yeah, that's what I
mix
did
it
to
up,
like to stand out, and then it didn't work. So yeah, whatever, life moves on.
Yeah. Can you? So is that something that you try and think about then? Like, because obviously, like you say, in comps these days, like there are certain tricks, aren't there, that are going to get thrown down, like they're going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you try to think of like the way of standing out, doing something a bit different.
Yeah, for sure. And also like for me, I mean, I've had some trouble with my backside 14 lately, but I used to do them on every contest like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I kind of got a little bit bored of doing it every time. It was like, oh, the same trick, and then it wasn't a new feeling, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So it gave me way more to do the front 14, but it didn't give the judges more, I guess. But
Yeah. I mean, it seemed that was quite a thing throughout the whole Olympics, really, because obviously slope, like you say, with the wind was just like, it's kind of a lottery, really, wasn't it? You know, like if people did well. I mean,
the boys managed to like to shoot through the wind, you know. I mean, the first run was horrible, like nobody made it happen, but second and third it kind of quieted down a little bit, and it was fine. It wasn't perfect, but I mean, we're in the mountains. There's always going to be some wind, weather, you know. So it was doable, so we did it. Yeah, I love Red. He has a good style. He was riding creative, like using the quarter pipe, which I like. You know, I like when people use that. And it was clean.
He did the sweet frontside air as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, which was
over the pole. Yeah,
super nice.
Just a perfect clean run, you know.
Yeah.
And it was cool to watch. It was creative, and Red is a good guy to win it, you know.
Yeah, he's a good sort of snowboarder representative, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good representative for the snowboarding world, and it's always good when an American wins, because then it becomes such a big fuss around it, you know.
Yeah. So who else impressed you? Did you get stoked on anyone else's riding?
Everyone, you know. Yeah. I haven't seen the replay, so I saw Mark's run from the lift.
Right.
So I didn't see his landings.
Okay.
But his run was insane, you know. I have yet to see his landings, but that was an insane run. I mean, all the guys were like doing cool runs. Yeah. But I was in it, you know, so I didn't get to see all the runs. Yeah. And I haven't seen the replay, so I gotta when I get home and I can find the link.
Yeah, you can check it.
If anyone wants to send me the link, nice.
It's up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And did you, because the women's was obviously like pretty harsh, like they had worse conditions, they had worse wind, you know. It was almost a bit of a shit show, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they're smaller than us. You know?
Yeah.
So the wind takes them. But that shouldn't have happened, but it happened, you know. Yeah. We can't change it now. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you think you go again? Another one? Got another one in you?
I don't know. 4? I haven't decided if I'm gonna try or if I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, because how old are you now?
I'm 24.
Yeah, so man, I mean, you're still so young. You could still do.
Yeah, I'm young, but also time flies fast. And time flies fast, but also like the level of snowboarding increases so much, you know. We don't know what's gonna happen in 4 years.
I know. I mean, it's kind of.
So maybe I'll be able to do it. Maybe I'll be filming by then. I don't know yet. I'm gonna take one season at a time from now on. It's kind of what I've been doing all the time as well. But
so what's what are you thinking? Have you got some projects that you want to try and maybe work on, or
for
any
sure.
trips you want to do, or?
For sure, want to try to film a bit more next year. Yeah. I mean, I've been filming all year but like showcasing what I do in the contest world and stuff. But do some more like proper film trips, some backcountry. I want to ride more powder for sure, and get experienced in the woods and the big mountains, you know. Yeah. And also like maybe we'll do a movie, maybe not. I don't know. We haven't like decided yet. We gotta wait till it quiets down a little bit and then figure out the plans. But I'd like to make a proper movie and like really put a lot of effort into it, you know, instead of just filming after the contest season is over, you know. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of obvious thing for you to do, really, isn't it? You know, you've always, looking at your career, you know, you've always been somebody who's like, you know, done the comps, you've filmed, like you've kind of had a hand in like all areas of snowboarding. But yeah, it seems like a good point to do, like put full energy into like a big film part, maybe, you know. Yeah, I've filmed video parts, but I haven't filmed video parts where I really put all my time into, or most of my time into it, you know. Dedicated all that, yeah. So that would be that'd be fun to see how that goes. Well, not fully sure yet, but hopefully it'll be a lot of focus on that, but also I want to do like, I still want to do the biggest competitions, but not chase around on all the smaller ones. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I was going to ask you, because I remember speaking to you about this back in the day, like, and you've spoken a lot about the fact that ways you could see it improving the tour, you know, like ways to like mix it up, because you've got a great view now, like you say, you've done like 3 Olympics, you've done every comp in the world, you know, you're traveling for 10 years. Do you look at it, and obviously in snowboarding it's like a huge debate, like, you know, the fist thing, not to go down that road, but what do you look at it and think that there's maybe a different way of doing the tour that might represent snowboarding a bit differently?
For sure. I mean, I've kind of been a little part of it, tried to be in there. I mean, there's a lot of politics.
Yeah, there's always politics,
so
right?
then I kind of, after a while, I just like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah.
Gotta let the grown-ups do this. I just want to snowboard now.
Yeah.
But for sure, there's many ways we could do it better. It's just hard to do it, you know, because there needs to be money involved, you know?
Yeah.
To start something before it actually starts making money back, I guess.
Of course. For
the events and the tour or whatever. But my dream tour would be if you could like kind of do it like surfing, where all the stops are different.
Yeah.
And then you have like the ultimate snowboarder who wins the overall, which is the main focus.
Yeah, because surfing, it's about those waves are so different.
Yeah.
It showcases a different style, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For each stop, you know.
Yeah, like if you could have one, say if it was based out of a slope style, but every slope style course was different. So one was like more transitions, more like a half pipe course.
Yeah.
And then another one is like 4 massive jumps and some rails, and then one is like a lot of rails.
Yeah.
And smaller jumps.
So you get to showcase more
and
as a
then
rider.
One, maybe you do one which is more like a snake run or whatever, and then maybe like a supernatural backcountry stop, and then one bigger in the city, or like just like have a mixed tour, and then you follow the entire tour, and then the last overall winner is the main thing, you know, instead of in the middle of the season you have X Games, which is the biggest.
Yeah.
And then there's no tour people follows the ranking, you know?
Yeah.
Like in surfing.
Do you think there's an appetite for that among the riders? Do you think that's something that...
For sure. I think people would think that would be great, you know? It's just... It's just hard to make it happen because there's so many players involved, you know? There's so many different companies doing the contest. It's like ESPN and X Games, and then you had NBC and Do Tour, and then you have FIS, and then you have World Snowboard Tour, and then you have Aaron Style, and then and
they've all got different agendas.
Well, it's hard to like put that in one package, you know. I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but that's beyond my brain level to.
But it's interesting to hear you say that, because, like I say, you're somebody that you know, you're doing it, you're competing, you're actually traveling, putting the work in, doing this, and I think everybody in snowboarding and who's been in snowboarding for a long time kind of accepts it's not ideal, is it? You know, like the way it's set up right now.
Yeah, it's not ideal at all. I mean, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, the event organizers know that, the riders know that, the media knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, it has great potential. It's just how do you gather everyone, and how do you
lead it? Yeah. Where does it come from? Yeah. Is there a contest that you've like enjoyed the most, like for whether it was like the course or the atmosphere?
I mean, I enjoy, like, the US Open is fun, you know.
Yeah.
I've always had fun here at Laax, you know. They take good care of you. X Games is great as well. Yeah. It's just they're all on a different
different agenda on each one, different kind of scale, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, they're all like good, but if you could put them all together and make every stop better, you know.
Yeah, like our friend, because you know Ed Lee, don't you? And he's talked about that a lot. Same thing you're saying. A supernatural, a rail jam, a kicker in the city, you know, a creative slope course, a pipe course. Find the most well-rounded rider, you know, because that's, you know, obviously these events, they do find like this, like you say, they promote a certain type of snowboarding, don't they? You know, they promote a certain type of trick that's going to get put down, which maybe doesn't often represent the creativity that
and then you tend to get a lot of the same runs and tricks all the time.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they've gotten more creative on the court. It used to be like 3 rails, 3 jumps.
Yeah.
Most likely 1 shootout rail.
Yeah.
And then they started making different rails and the pipe hits and stuff, you know. But I think that if they would all be in the same, if they would all talk together, so they all had different stuff, you know. I don't know.
It could be better.
It could be like really cool, because then you have like different people winning every time, or the guy is really good at everything. You know, he's the best.
Yeah. So nearly the summer. So what are you going to do in the summer? You more riding, or are you going to take some time off, or?
Yeah, I need to take some time off for sure to heal my body. But I'm probably going to travel a lot. I want to go on surf trips. Yeah,
you into surfing?
Yeah, I'm not very good. I haven't surfed much, but I'd like to get better.
Yeah.
Go on surf trips. My brother's getting married, so I'm gonna go to his wedding.
Nice.
Little sail trip. We have a sailboat, so we're gonna do a sail trip.
Sick.
Couple music festivals.
Yeah, so just nice downtime.
Yeah, maybe some camping. Hopefully camp at one of the glaciers in Norway, or like by the sea level, and then if there's a good week with sun.
Yeah.
And that'd be fun. Last year we tried 3 times and it was shitty weather every time.
Yeah.
But hopefully time it right.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks of spontaneous. Then I think Aaron Style in Sydney in August.
Right. Nice.
Maybe Bali, and then back snowboarding somewhere. I don't know. It's I don't have it fully planned, but I think most likely I will not be home a lot.
Yeah, sounds like it. I had a good surf trip up to Norway, actually. You surf much in Norway? I've
surfed in Stavanger and close to Oslo.
Yeah, I surfed the valley where JP has got a place. JP Solberg.
Yeah, it's like
Stat.
Yeah.
Is it? Have you been there?
I haven't been there.
I used to check it out. Yeah.
I'd like to. I've been always wanting to go to Lofoten.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks amazing, doesn't it? Yeah.
But maybe I'll get time for it this spring.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Have you been up there?
Not yet.
Right.
I haven't been that far north in Norway yet.
Right. Okay.
I need to go.
Yeah, you should do, for sure. So when did you... Are you from near Oslo? Is that where you...
Yeah, half an hour from Oslo.
Okay, so did you grow up riding the park in Oslo, like the little resort? What's it called? Vinter Park, is it?
Yeah, well, I grew up riding an even smaller resort called Kirkebakken.
Okay. Is that in the sea?
Well, yeah, it's like outside of the city, but it's like half an hour.
Yeah.
But that's like only 1 T-bar and then a small park.
Yeah.
Mainly like built most of the stuff ourselves.
Okay.
That's where me, Alec, and Len are from.
Yeah.
Also, Andres Wiig were riding there, and Mikkel Bang back in the days.
Yeah.
It's a very small hill, but like the snowboard club, I guess you could call it.
Sure.
There.
Yeah.
But, like you had like some nights a week, everybody gathered, and then they organized a trip to like the contests and stuff, which was very good, you know. And like a lot of good riders came out of there.
Yeah.
Larsen also.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a list you just reeled off.
So that's where I grew up, and then lately I've been going to the winter park, you know, which is because I live in the city now and it's closer, and they have longer lifts and more obstacles for us to ride on, you know.
So how old were you when you started riding?
I was 8.
Okay. So, and Frode, your brother's how much older than you is he?
He's 16 years older.
So he was already presumably like, because he's a really well-known photographer, right?
Yeah.
So presumably when you started riding, he was like fully in his career, right?
Yeah.
Like
well, he was like a semi-pro snowboarder.
He's a good rider, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. When I was younger than that, and then he started filming and taking photos. And well, that was kind of like I got my snowboard from Frode for Christmas. And then I think the first day I rode, we just hiked this small little hill, and then in a different resort called Kolsåsbacken,
Okay.
me and my sister, and then just trying it out. And then when we were done, Andreas Wiig showed up, and he and Frode went up in the hill, and then I think he shot like the gapping a kink rail backflip in like one of the old movies.
Yeah.
I think I witnessed that my first day of snowboarding.
Right, so that's gonna have an impression.
Yeah.
Because that would have been when Andreas was like fully killing it, right? Like height of his career.
Yeah,
really.
maybe before that even.
Right.
Yeah, right
Okay.
before he kicked off fully. Well, still doing well, but like right before like all the X Games and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So that was in the first day. Pretty crazy thing to see.
Yeah.
So were you kind of immersed in it from the start then, because of your brother's, you know, the fact that he was living in that world and shooting with these guys? And
yeah, I mean, I had all the snowboard movies available on VHS in the basement, so I was watching that. And like it took me like 1 year before I really got into it.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't stop. And then Alec was snowboarding. He was like my neighbor.
Yeah.
And then we were just watching snowboard movies all summer and snowboarding all winter, and just from there it started.
Yeah. What did you like about it? What were you into?
It was just fun. Nobody told me what to do. There's no coaches like in soccer and cross country skiing, and every day I learned something new, you know.
Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling.
Did you skate as well?
Yeah, I skated before I snowboarded, but I've always skateboarded, but I never really like got fully into skateboarding. Like I never got really good at it.
Yeah.
I was just like fooling around, hanging out at the skate park, you know.
Yeah. So snowboarding was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be stuck to the board.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And then so from when you were 9, then you were like super hooked. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And at what point were you like entering contests and were you doing all that, or were you just more like just enjoying it for the?
No, so like the thing, I guess I was too young to do contests, even though I wanted to do it. Like I don't know if it's like 11 or 10 when you can, maybe 11 or 12 even. I don't know. I can't remember. But I think, around there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. Because obviously in Norway, you know, you've got this just such a history of like amazing snowboarders, you know, like Terrier, obviously, like Daniel Frank. Like, is that something that you guys were made aware of from when you're pretty young, you know? Is that you kind of know that you've got these legends in the sport?
For sure. And especially with my brother being in the industry, I knew a lot, you know, and he taught me what was cool and what was not cool, you know?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I know you've been asked this before, but I guess that's when you start getting conscious of style, right, as well, like from like a super early age. Because you have those like kind of role models, really, the guys with the best style in snowboarding, you know?
Yeah, basically from the start, you know. I mean, my brother in the beginning, he didn't come to the mountain much. He was busy with his stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It was like the first day and then another time, and then I was just snowboarding, you know, and for sure he told me what was cool or not, so I focused on that early, you know, on the style. But I remember like I don't remember like how many, like maybe backside 360, backside 540, but I was like scratching my hand on the takeoff.
Right.
And I already learned those tricks, but then he told me like, you can't do that. And then I had to like relearn all the tricks again.
Right.
But that was good that he told me that early enough, you know?
Yeah. So he helped you, he cracked the whip a bit.
Yeah. Well, just like told me like, these grabs are stinky. You can't grab outside the binding if it's not on the nose or tail and stuff like that. I knew that from the start, you know, and just like, I think like with riding with Alec and the other boys there, we all just kind of figured it out. Yeah.
And it was important for you guys to develop your own style early on that you followed, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, and then it just became more body language, you know, it just became natural. Yeah.
Is that what you kind of think style is? You know, like an expression of...
Yeah, for sure. It's
of the
how
way
you move.
Of the way you carry yourself. You know?
It's how you move. Like,
yeah.
It's just how you express yourself and how you move, and you can't force style too much, you know. You can try to keep your arms calm and tweak, you know, but it's still like everybody have a unique way of moving, I guess.
That's why it's so interesting, isn't it? Because you can't fake it, can you? You know, like you say, you can try and teach yourself to like you say, to put your arm in a certain position, or, you know, to like hold your body in a certain way. But when you're actually riding, you're gonna look like you're gonna look, aren't you? Really?
Yeah,
you know,
you can't copy anyone really. It's
no,
hard.
It's quite a natural thing.
Just gotta move how you want to move.
Yeah. So you, like we said earlier, like you were basically kind of had a career from, you know, insofar as you getting like interviews in the magazines, you know, you're getting Transworld, all this stuff from like young age. So was this something that your brother helped you kind of navigate as well, like get through this part of the scene, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I was lucky that he was like on all these photo shoots, you know, and then occasionally he brought me with him, you know?
Yeah.
And then he was a great photographer, so he shot photos of me and then sent them out to magazines, and then I got interviews, and then for sure helped me boost my career, you know. I mean, my brother's the biggest part of my career, you know, and I'm super lucky that I had him.
Yeah.
To push me into this world, and which is the best world to be in.
Yeah. So he helped you, because you know, it's pretty young age to be thinking about contracts, isn't it? And
yeah,
you know, all this sort of thing. So
I wasn't thinking about contracts. I just wanted free stuff.
But you know, but have somebody to like kind of do that stuff for you.
You know, I mean, if you're young and talented, you know, for sure, maybe you can get tricked into stuff, you know, if you don't have the right guidance.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have my big brother, and he was already in this industry, and he wasn't gonna trick with me. You know? No, he's gonna. Big brother.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good mentor for sure.
So that was for sure. It's great to have him, you know.
Yeah.
To help me and I mean push me, because we were like push me not the way like I had to do all this stuff, but when we were taking photos, like, if you go a little bit bigger, it's gonna be cool. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Like, if you go a little bit bigger, it'll be a cover, and then I go a little bit bigger, and he's like, I was all right. And then I never saw the photo, and then like half a year later, it's like in the magazine. I'm like, whoa,
right?
Why didn't you tell me? I was like, here it is.
Right. Oh, that's brilliant. So, did you also do the like the snowboard school thing? Did you? Because that's the setup you have in Norway, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. I did 1 year.
How does that work then?
It was good, you know. You were able to do school and travel.
Yeah.
And when you were there, you could snowboard, which was great. I ended up quitting after a year because it was too much for me to do both schools, and I already had a good career in snowboarding, so I was like,
didn't really need to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it got tired, you know. I was 16 years old, and I had all this schoolwork I had to do without having teachers teaching me because I was on the road.
Yeah.
And then I had all these interviews in magazines and travel, and then it just got so much for me. I was like, I gotta, like, now I have opportunity.
Yeah.
I was gonna film for the Rome movie the next year, and I had all these contests, and I was like, I mean, I can go back to school later. And also, like, I used to have good grades in school, but that year I was like, it was just I had over 100 days of travel away from school, and then I got shittier grades, you know, and I was like, am I gonna spend all this time finishing school getting shitty grades, or should I try 100% to live my dream?
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work, I can go back to school.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go back to school and be the older guy in school, but I can't go back to snowboarding later and be the older guy.
Yeah.
Maybe, but less chance of that, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm already living my dream, you know, and my parents agreed. And
yeah, I was going to ask you, so they backed you, did they?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have quit school if I didn't have, like, a career, a living out of it, you know?
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
If not, I would have stayed in school for sure.
Did you have like a plan B? Did you like have a career path that you kind of thought you might do if it didn't work out?
I'll go back to school.
Yeah, but what were you into? Did you see yourself doing another job, or
No,
you
no
didn't even
idea.
think about it? You were just like,
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah. So then your career, took off really, didn't it? From that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Some people might disagree, but at this point, I'm doing well. You know, it was a good decision for me.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna advise other people to quit school. You need to be able to do it. You know.
Yeah. And you've obviously been traveling with the same boys, right? The same guys you grew up with.
Yeah. Somehow, my hometown, my street where I grew up, it was me, Alec, and Olav, and we all ended up in the industry. You know.
Yeah.
Olav has kind of drifted away into following the big music artists around on tour, but Alec and me, we ended up on the national team traveling the world, and then now he's kind of stopped competing and filming more. It's pretty crazy. We grew up I grew up 50 meters apart from Olav and maybe 70 meters from Alec.
That's quite a crazy coincidence, isn't it? Yeah. Was there a big scene in your where you was there other guys around? Was there more of it?
There was some more kids, kind of faded away, and then my big brother was kind of the mentor, you could say. Yeah.
Right. So then I guess at this point is when you did your first Olympics, right? Because you've done, like you said, you've done 3, yeah.
Yeah, I did my first Olympics the last year I was in the school.
Yeah. So, and how do you remember much about that experience? How was that? Because
Yeah.
again, you were young, right? To be doing that.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, my goal was just to make it early. You know, as I guess I was the youngest in 70 years or something for Norway to compete in Olympics.
Yeah.
And that was just the goal to just go there. You know.
Yeah.
And I went there and I was just all in, just send it.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to do well. I need to make the finals. I'm at the Olympics.
Yeah. You're gonna go. Yeah. Right. And how'd you do?
I fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably did one of my biggest airs ever on the first hit, air to fakie, and landed on top of the transition. So I got very good speed, switched into the next hit, and just got G'd out and landed on the deck.
Right.
So I was just like, okay, Olympics, all in, just go straight down.
Yeah.
It was, I guess it was, I don't know, it was probably one of my biggest airs ever in the pipe.
Yeah.
And then fucked up on the next hit, but
yeah,
went up, tried again, and then I fell on the last hit, and then it was over. But it's still crazy experience.
Yeah.
You know?
And then obviously the next Olympics they brought in slope. So
yeah.
And were you still riding much pipe in the lead up to that, or did you step away from that a little bit?
I kind of decided to stop riding half pipe after Vancouver Olympics, because I never really rode much. I knew how to ride it, and then when I learned the tricks during competitions, you know,
Yeah.
because we didn't have a half pipe in Norway at this
Yeah,
point,
right.
a big one.
Yeah.
And I kind of decided to stop doing it, but I kept. Maybe I did 1 year after, but I kind of kept getting invited into contests. So I just kept doing them in contests, you know, for 2-3 years, you know. And then after that, I kind of just fully stopped competing in halfpipe. I mean, I love to ride halfpipe, but when it's slushy.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I wanted to stop riding halfpipe is contests, was because all the contests were during winter, and during winter the halfpipe is bulletproof ice.
Yeah, and it's pretty
now in the spring it's awesome.
Pipe up there is rad.
It's the most fun up here now to ride the pipe hits.
Yeah, I mean it's so fun here in the spring, isn't it?
Yeah,
that run is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it just goes on and on, doesn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. How long you're here for the pleasure jam, right?
Yeah, I'm here till Monday.
And what's next after that?
Go to Mammoth for Oakley week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're building some cool stuff. Just cruise around there for a week. Maybe I get some days to go surf in California.
Nice.
We'll see.
Nice.
And then I think back to Norway to go in the mountains.
Yeah.
Around where you were talking about earlier.
Nice.
maybe.
Nice. Up to Stadt, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Right. So then, obviously, Sochi, silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was, and the Mohawk
Yeah.
and all that kind of, Well, how was that in Norway? Did that get like a lot of, of attention?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it put my name on the map fully there in Norway, and people remember the Mohawk for sure.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was because of Heikki Sorsa.
I was going to ask you if it was Heikki.
Yeah, I mean,
Heikki
that was
did it for Finland, didn't he?
in Salt Lake.
Salt Lake, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my strongest memory from Olympics when I was a kid, and that's kind of like, wow,
Little tribute.
snowboarders are cool.
Yeah.
So that was I planned that a year ahead, so I was like growing my hair. I was planning on doing it on the opening ceremony.
Right.
But then the finals was the day after opening ceremony, so we ended up not going to opening ceremony. So I was like, I
yeah,
need
because it
to
was
do
really early, wasn't it?
I need to do well so I can do the Mohawk
right
on the podium.
That was the motivation. Yeah, and silver. Yeah, I mean it was a good event, wasn't it? Really, like the slope at Sochi.
Yeah, the finals was amazing.
Sage. I mean, it was so sick.
I mean, the
wasn't
finals with the conditions for finals, that course, it was insane. I
Yeah.
think at that time, it was like groundbreaking. Like just the level of snowboarding on that competition. At that time, was just like holy shit. What's going on now?
Yeah.
Everybody was landing insane runs.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to end up on the podium.
Yeah. He was a great winner as well.
Yeah, Sage is a good guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It was similar to what we were saying earlier as well. It's just a kind of a good result for snowboarding, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you can get that progression on display.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then kind of, I guess, my life changed a bit after that.
Yeah.
In the mainstream.
Yeah. What back home?
Yeah, back home, and just like more attention, and older people knew who I was.
Yeah.
I started respecting snowboarding fully. Like.
Yeah.
Teachers and grandmas and stuff. That was like, oh, these boys.
Yeah.
Now just Olympian.
Is that a thing in Norway then? Because you always kind of assume that because of people like Terje, it's got a status really.
Yeah, but still, we're kind of the rebel status,
Yeah, I guess like you say, it's traditional winter sports, isn't it? Cross country, ski jumping.
But it's respected, and I think it's good that we have the rebel status,
Yeah.
It makes it we're more free,
Yeah.
Like if we do something stupid, it's like, people just like assume we're gonna do stupid stuff, so it's not a big fuss if we do something a little bit stupid.
Yeah.
It's just like people accept it because we're snowboarders.
And
it's perfect.
Yeah. Well, and that's like you say, it's how it should be, because that's like the history of snowboard, isn't it? I mean, that's the roots of everybody. Like whether it's like Heikki or whether it's people like Palmer, like back in the day. Like it's where it comes from, isn't it? So do you still have that level of recognition back home? Is that something that still goes on?
Yeah, I mean, like that and the following season went really well, so for sure got like some attention, and not crazy like the biggest names in Norway and stuff. Just like a perfect balance, that enough known to where it's good, and not as known that it gets
crazy
and too much. Just like a perfect mellow line.
Yeah, you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Rather than be stressed.
Can live normal.
Yeah.
But also get some advantages,
Yeah, get some good benefits from it. Yeah. So, I mean, we were saying earlier, you're still young, so it's not like you need to think about what you would be doing later. But do you ever think about that, like what you might do when?
Yeah. Yes and no, not really. I kind of just hopefully I can keep snowboarding for a while.
Yeah.
And live from this, I love it. That's what I want to do, but I think when the time comes, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm sure I can make something happen.
Yeah. What are you into away from snowboarding? What do you like doing?
I mean, I like to be creative. I enjoy making videos in the way of coming up with creative ideas.
Yeah, which you can see in the stuff you've been doing. Yeah.
I don't know too much about the cameras and all that, but I know I like the art ways and stuff, and I come up with ideas, and then other people make them happen, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe learn a bit more on all the camera stuff and the next couple of years, so I can help out and try to make my own stuff as well. I don't know, but I don't know. I have no idea actually. Or just maybe work in the industry, maybe do something else, maybe empty garbage. I don't know.
Probably not that.
It's not the worst living, I guess.
You never know. You never know. It could go badly wrong, but yeah. So what's getting you stoked right now in snowboarding? What are you seeing that you?
I really just enjoy seeing people cruising creative, you know.
Yeah.
With speed, turns, transitions, link it up, you know. Not just one banger trick.
Yeah.
Just like a line, you know.
Yeah. And who's riding are you stoked on?
I mean, Alec is always my favorite. Torgeir is killing it. We travel together. Ben Ferguson.
Yeah.
Has amazing style.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's killing it in the half pipe and also like in the big mountains. I really enjoyed to watch the René.
Yeah.
The Finnish kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's gonna come up big. He's riding good. He's riding good in the competitions as well, but he has like unique style and creativity and super nice dude, like full energy. Like we on the Rome trip, we just like call him Renergy.
Renergy.
It's too much energy, but in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. And what about the? I mean, earlier you said in 4 years, you know, you don't know where it's going to be, you know, snowboarding, because it progresses so quickly. And obviously the rate of progression, you know, like it's gone from triples to quads, which has been, you know, for some people a good thing, for some people a bad thing. Do you have any ideas like where it might go? Like, can you see into the future a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, the obvious progression is spinning more and flipping more. You know?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other tricks we can do, you know, different accesses with triples or doubles. I guess most single flips have been done.
Yeah.
But for sure you can figure out ways and like change up grabs, and then if the course gets different, you know, it makes us have to do different stuff.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say really.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool thing about it, is that we don't know. There's no textbook. It's no book telling you how to become a good snowboarder. You just have to go figure it out.
Yeah. And express yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what's kind of always been the thing that you liked about it? The fact that there's no rules.
The fun and just like the feeling, the fear, the friendship, you know, riding together, challenges, you know, you challenge your friend to do this trick and then he does it and everybody's stoked, or you do it, people are stoked, and just like giving each other props, scaring yourself, just like hanging out, forgetting about the rest of the world and just be there, you know, in the mountains. It's
nice,
just a
man.
full experience.
Yeah.
Deep, but that's how it is.
Yeah. Well, that's snowboarding right there. Yeah. Well, nice, man. Well, thanks for doing it.
Yeah. No worries.
Appreciate it. And
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So there you go. That was my interview with Starla, and top one that one. I really enjoyed it. I'm getting asked to do younger riders more and more as the podcast grows in popularity, and I'm choosing them carefully, to be honest. As I've said before, Starla's a different proposition, and it's always a pleasure to meet somebody at the top of their game who's so likeable. But I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of top athletes over the years, and I've got to say, a lot of them take themselves way too fucking seriously. So it's always great when you catch up with somebody like Starla, who is just completely sound. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. See you soon. Anyway, part 3 of the Swiss Omnibus next week, the final part, with my old mate Patrick Brusty Armbruster. Everyone just knows him as Brusty, so I'll just call him Brusty from now on. Filmer, photographer, one of the leading lights behind Onboard Absinthe Films, generally one of the most quietly influential men in snowboarding in Europe and the world, really, over the last 20 years. And that is not an exaggeration. As you'll hear, I mean, it's a great episode, that one. We had a right old laugh recording it in Zurich. And he's a total legend. So keep him peeled for that one. Apart from that, not a lot else to report really in the housekeeping corner. Episode 50 is approaching really quite quickly, which is wild. So try to fill up the schedule as we head towards that one. A couple of interesting sounding events actually happening in May, which you might know about, but I'll tell you anyway. There's the Street League in London, so I'm going to try and get to that. And then the intriguing sounding Pushing Borders, which is a couple of venues in London at the start of June. And there's some massive hitters on the Looking Sideways wish list. Go to that one, which is an event about skateboarding, talking about skateboarding, apparently organised by Stu McClure and some mates. Stu is who I interviewed from Long Live Southbank the other week. So yeah, I'm going to definitely try and get involved with that. Speaking of the wish list, so I did put out another call on Facebook the other day. Got some top suggestions. Rodney Mullen, no less, Candide, Gons, etc., etc. I mean, they're all great suggestions, but to be honest, until the podcast gets properly massive, it's going to be a tricky one getting some of those big names. So I'll just repeat myself, what I've said a couple of times, what I definitely said the other week. If you're into it, you've got some ideas, tag them in, because then you're going to really help spread the word and share the thing. As everyone listening to the show probably knows, and as I did sort of mention at the top, I'm a total one-man band doing this. I produce it, I do the interviews, I source the interviews, I edit, I do the audio, I do the social, I do all the marketing, I do the merch, all in my spare time as well. I mean, it's a lot of work, to be honest, so which is why I need the old Looking Sideways listenership, like a street team for one of those god-awful landfill indie bands of yesteryear to help me get the word out. So yeah, if you're digging it, usual thing I say every week, please share it and please tag people in if you want to get in on here. So yeah, nice one. Enough of that tedious chat from me. Big thanks to everyone buying the merch, as I've been saying. The hoodies and sweats are in, and they're looking wicked. So yeah, head on over to lookingsideways.teemill.com for an extremely simple way to show your support there if you fancy. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. I'll see you next week for Brusty and hopefully for a few more. All right, see you later.